If a trans-identifying male can win a human rights award for putting a male sex pest in a female jail and nobody cares, that's how fucked up our society is.
I never thought about it like that.
In other news, Edie Wyatt did an excellent piece in The Spectator called How AIDS Charities Are Erasing Gay Men. I highly recommend everyone read it. She has reported on a gay man here in Victoria, Jason Whitehall. So he's named in the article. He telephoned it was like some LGBT helpline because he's feeling stressed and anxious about trans-identified females and this whole, erasing of his sexuality, this woke homophobia that he's dealing with on a daily basis on social media. And they said they weren't able to find a counsellor that was willing to work with him.
Yep. So I've got a couple of friends who are HIV positive, and ACON being the AIDS charity and all that. And they too are obviously in midlife, your health becomes a bit more precarious and, AIDS isn't curable. There are treatments, but their health is still impacted by that. And I've had, 4 or 5 of my friends who are HIV positive saying that they don't feel that the AIDS charities acknowledge them at all and that they're just left on the NDIS or to the local community health centre now. I mean, these charities were set up for these men, to support these men throughout their life, and they're sick to death of being conflated with the TQ+. These are men who've survived AIDS. I've got a couple of friends who've had AIDS had HIV since the 80s and never developed full-blown AIDS. But, the symptoms are still debilitating. Having a compromised immune system is still debilitating, particularly as you get older. And these charities are not there for these men anymore. They're there for the TQ+.
Well, that's exactly right. Jason, who's featured in this article, he's had HIV since the 80s. And the other point that Edie brought up was, a lot of the gay men that died during the 80s, they bequeathed their estate to these AIDS charities to get them set up. So that is what ACON is founded on. And now they're saying homosexuality is transphobic. Absolutely. And what a kick in the guts.